This interview wasn't supposed to end like this. Lily Allen walked on stage smiling and walked off in silence. The laughter died. The band froze. Jimmy Fallon lost control of the room, and the cameras cut early. Minutes later, insiders claimed Lily Allen was escorted out backstage. No explanation. No apology. So what really exploded on live television that night? Asterisk, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, so you'll never miss an update. Now let's dive into what really happened. Asterisk, nobody in the studio saw this coming. The lights were bright. The band was ready. The audience was laughing, clapping, fully relaxed. The exact atmosphere you expect from The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Everything felt safe, fun, and predictable. Then Lily Allen walked onto the stage with a smile. And within minutes, that comfort completely disappeared. At first, nothing seemed off. Jimmy welcomed Lily with his usual charm, praising her music, her bold personality, and her long career in the spotlight. The crowd applauded loudly. Lily smiled, waved, and took her seat. From the outside, it looked like another normal celebrity appearance. It's the kind that blends into hundreds of others. But something felt different. Viewers, watching closely, noticed it before anyone else. Lily wasn't relaxed. She wasn't leaning back comfortably or laughing along. Her posture was stiff. Her smile felt controlled, almost forced. And when Jimmy made his opening jokes, her reactions were short, polite, but not warm. Then the tone shifted. As the conversation continued, Lily's answers became sharper. Her voice lowered. Her expressions changed. She wasn't playing along with the usual late-night rhythm. When Jimmy tried to guide the interview toward light humor and fun anecdotes, Lily subtly resisted. And then she pushed back. Not in a playful way, not with sarcasm, but with clear frustration. This wasn't scripted. This wasn't banter. This was real tension unfolding live. Jimmy, sensing the discomfort, tried to regain control, cracking jokes, smiling wider, moving quickly to the next question. But Lily didn't follow his lead. Instead, she responded with blunt honesty that didn't fit the show's usual polished tone. The audience grew quiet. You could feel it, that uncomfortable silence, where people don't know whether to laugh or stay still. Even the band stopped reacting. Cameras lingered just a second too long on Lily's serious expression and quickly cut away. Something was clearly wrong. Lily's body language said it all. She leaned forward instead of back. She maintained strong eye contact. She didn't laugh when the audience laughed. Her energy wasn't chaotic. It was controlled, intense, and unmistakably serious. Jimmy tried to steer things back to safe territory. Lily refused to go with him. By this point, producers backstage were already on alert. Moments later, something unusual happened. The segment ended earlier than expected. The applause came, but it sounded forced. Jimmy quickly thanked Lily and rushed into a transition that felt off, too fast. To clean, fans watching live noticed it immediately. Social media started buzzing within minutes. Why did they cut it short? Did something go wrong with Lily Allen? That interview felt uncomfortable. Then came the rumors. Backstage sources later claimed Lily Allen was asked to leave the show immediately after the segment ended. According to those reports, the decision wasn't planned. It was made in the moment. As tensions rose and producers feared the situation could escalate further, no official announcement. No confirmation on air. Just silence. And silence, in moments like this, speaks louder than words, so the question remains, what really happened that night? At first, everything looked completely normal. Jimmy Fallon did what he always does. He welcomed Lily Allen with a big smile, warm applause, and generous praise. He talked about her long music career, her impact on pop culture, and her reputation for being brutally honest. The audience clapped loudly. Lily smiled back, thanked him, and settled into her chair. For the first few minutes, the interview followed the familiar late-night formula. They joked about her early hit songs. Jimmy teased her about how long she's been in the industry. Lily laughed lightly, adding short comments about how fast time moves and how strange fame feels now compared to the past. Everything felt relaxed, almost routine, but beneath the surface, something was already building. Jimmy then shifted the conversation toward a more serious topic: public criticism of celebrities and the pressure of social media backlash. On paper, it sounded harmless. It was the kind of question that usually leads to a quick joke, a vague answer, and then a smooth transition. This time, it didn't. The moment the topic came up, the energy in the room changed. Lily didn't laugh. She didn't smile. She didn't brush it off. Instead, she leaned forward. That small movement said everything. Her posture shifted from relaxed guest to someone ready to speak her truth. Her eyes locked onto Jimmy, and the playful mood disappeared instantly. Instead of giving a light or rehearsed response, Lily launched into a passionate explanation about what it feels like to live under constant public judgment. She talked about being misunderstood, being labeled, and being constantly poked for entertainment by media and online. Audience's daughter voice grew firmer with every sentence. She spoke about how social media turns real people into targets, how comments never truly disappear, and how celebrities are expected to laugh through criticism, even when it hurts. The studio, once filled with laughter, went quiet. Very quiet. You could hear the shift. The audience stopped reacting. The band didn't play. Even Jimmy's expression changed. His smile tightened as he listened, sensing the tension. Jimmy tried to soften the moment. He attempted to break it with humor, tossing in a joke and a playful remark, hoping to bring the conversation back into familiar territory. Normally, this is where guests laugh, agree, and move on. But Lily wasn't in the mood. She interrupted him, not loudly, not aggressively, but firmly. She made it clear that this wasn't something she wanted to joke about. She pushed back against the idea that criticism is just part of the job and challenged the expectation that artists should simply accept it with a smile. That interruption was the turning point. Jimmy tried to respond, but Lily continued, clarifying her point, doubling down on her frustration. Her honesty was raw, unfiltered, and completely unscripted. The opposite of what late night TV thrives on. The audience didn't know how to react. Some shifted in their seats. Some glanced around. Others stayed frozen, unsure whether applause was appropriate. This wasn't a performance anymore. It felt like a confrontation. Jimmy, clearly uncomfortable, attempted to regain control of the interview. He nodded, smiled, and tried to redirect the conversation. But the easy flow was gone. The clash had begun. And from that moment on, the interview was no longer just an interview. It was a live collision between polished television and unfiltered truth. Late-night television survives on rhythm, jokes land. The audience laughs, the band reacts, and the host keeps everything moving. It's controlled chaos, carefully planned to look spontaneous. But that night, Lily Allen shattered that rhythm completely. Jimmy Fallon tried to do what he does best. After sensing the tension rising, he attempted another joke, light, harmless, and clearly meant to reset the mood. In most interviews, that would have worked instantly. This time, he didn't. Instead of laughing, Lily looked directly at him and spoke again, this time with even more confidence. She openly called out the media, late-night shows, and the culture of turning real struggles into punchlines. She suggested that talk. Shows often pretend to be friendly while quietly pushing uncomfortable narratives for entertainment. Valued that the room froze. The audience didn't know what to do. Some people started to laugh, then stopped halfway. Others stayed completely silent. It was one of those rare moments where laughter felt inappropriate. But silence felt heavy. Jimmy's face said everything. His smile faded slightly. He shifted in his chair. For a brief moment, he looked less like a comedian and more like someone trying to manage a situation slipping out of control on live television, trying to regain authority. Jimmy calmly said, "We're just having fun here." That line usually ends tension. This time, it triggered it. Lily fired back immediately with words that stunned the room. This isn't fun when it's always at someone else's expense. You could feel it. The air in the studio turned thick and uncomfortable. The laughter was gone. The clapping stopped. Even the band, normally quick to jump in, stayed completely silent. This was no longer entertainment. This was confrontation. Lily didn't raise her voice. She didn't shout, but her words carried weight. She explained that constantly being reduced to headlines, jokes, and viral clips takes a toll, and that not every moment deserves to be laughed at. Jimmy nodded, but it was clear he was struggling to move forward. Behind the cameras, things were already changing. Producers could be seen signaling off camera. Crew members exchanged looks. The energy backstage shifted from relaxed to alert. Everyone knew this interview was no longer following the plan. The usual playful rhythm of The Tonight Show completely collapsed. There were longer pauses between words. The timing felt off. Even simple transitions felt forced. Jimmy attempted to wrap things up politely, thanking Lily and preparing to move on. Then came the moment that set off alarm bells for fans watching at home. Jimmy abruptly cut to a commercial break. It wasn't smooth. It wasn't subtle. And it was far earlier than expected. Regular viewers noticed immediately. Social media exploded within minutes. Why did they cut it so fast? That felt rushed. Something clearly went wrong. Clips from the segment started spreading online, frozen in moments of tension and silence rather than laughter. People replayed Lily's words again and again, and that's when the rumors began spreading. Was Lily Allen asked to leave? Was the interview shut down on purpose? Did producers step in to prevent things from escalating further? No official answers were given, but one thing was clear. The jokes had stopped, and something had gone very, very wrong. According to multiple insiders, the real drama didn't happen on camera. It happened after the cameras stopped rolling. Once the segment ended and the studio lights dimmed, Lily Allen was escorted backstage, and that's where tensions reportedly reached their peak. Sources close to the production claim Lily was visibly upset, continuing to express frustration about how the interview had unfolded. She allegedly felt the conversation crossed personal boundaries. According to insiders, Lily argued that the topic wasn't as casual as it was presented on air. She reportedly felt pushed into addressing sensitive issues under the disguise of humor, something she believed was intentionally provocative rather than playful. Staff members were said to have stepped in quickly. Several crew members and producers allegedly tried to calm her down, explaining that the show wasn't meant to offend and that late-night interviews often blur the line between comedy and commentary. But by this point, emotions were already running high instead of cooling down. The situation reportedly escalated. Lily continued voicing her concerns, making it clear she didn't appreciate being placed in a position where her personal struggles became part of a televised joke. Insiders claim her tone was firm, not explosive, but unwavering. That's when producers had to make a decision. According to Backstage sources, the production team felt it was best to end Lily Allen's appearance entirely to avoid further disruption. The priority, they claimed, was maintaining control of the show and preventing the situation from spilling back onto the stage or into additional segments. No shouting, no dramatic walkout, just a quiet, firm call, while no official statement ever confirmed that Lily was kicked off. Insiders later used specific phrases when speaking anonymously to the press. She was asked to leave. She was escorted out. Her appearance was cut short for safety and control. Those words alone were enough to ignite speculation. Jimmy Fallon's team chose not to comment publicly. There were no follow-up jokes, no explanations on the next episode, and no acknowledgement of the awkward moment. Lily Allen also stayed silent, and that silence only made things louder within hours. Clips from the interview began circulating across social media platforms. Short videos highlighted Lily's serious expressions, Jimmy's uncomfortable reactions, and the sudden cut to commercial. The views climbed fast. Thousands turned into millions. Fans were immediately divided. One side praised Lily for her honesty, calling her brave for refusing to play along and applauding her for standing up against What they saw as exploitative media behavior, many said she simply spoke the truth, something rarely seen on late-night television. The other side wasn't as forgiving. Critics accused Lily of being disrespectful, arguing that she knew what kind of show she was appearing on. Some felt she crossed a line by confronting the host on his own stage, calling it unprofessional and unnecessary. And like always, the internet chose sides. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds. Hashtags trended briefly. Reaction videos flooded YouTube. Everyone had an opinion, even those who hadn't watched the full interview. Yet through all the noise, one thing remained unchanged. No official clarification. No confirmation. No denial. Just fragments of footage, anonymous sources, and unanswered questions. And sometimes, in the world of television, what isn't said becomes the biggest story of all. This wasn't just another awkward celebrity interview that people forgot after a day or two. This moment struck a nerve because it exposed something much bigger: the growing tension between authenticity and entertainment in modern media. Late-night television is designed to feel safe. Guests are expected to laugh, play along, and keep things light. Even serious topics are usually wrapped in humor so the audience can digest them easily. That formula has worked for decades. But Lily Allen doesn't fit neatly into that box. She has built her career on honesty, sometimes uncomfortable honesty. She has never been afraid to speak her mind, even when it costs her popularity, airplay, or public approval. And on that night, she stayed true to that reputation. She refused to play along. She refused to laugh it off. And most importantly, she refused to turn real frustration into entertainment. For Lily, the conversation crossed a line. What might have been intended as a casual topic felt personal, repetitive, and exhausting. Another reminder of how often celebrities are expected to absorb criticism with a smile. Jimmy Fallon, on the other hand, represents the opposite side of that equation. He represents polished late-night TV, a world where timing matters, moods are managed, and nothing should feel too heavy. His role is to keep the show moving, protect the atmosphere, and make sure millions of viewers feel entertained, not uncomfortable. Neither side was necessarily wrong, but when those two worlds collided, something had to give. The clash wasn't about disrespect or ego, it was about expectations. Lily expected space to be honest without turning pain into a punchline. Jimmy expected a guest who would work within the format of the show. That mismatch created a moment that couldn't be smoothed over with jokes or applause. And that's why people are still talking about it. Audiences today are more aware than ever. They can sense when emotions are real. They recognize when someone is forcing a smile or holding back frustration. That interview pulled back the curtain, revealing the emotional cost behind celebrity appearances. It reminded viewers that behind the bright lights, the laughs, and the applause signs, real people sit in those chairs, people with limits, boundaries, and breaking points. Moments like this challenge the idea that entertainment must always be comfortable. Sometimes discomfort reveals truth. Whether Lily Allen was right or wrong depends entirely on perspective. Some believe she stood up for herself in a system that often prioritizes content over compassion. Others feel she should have handled the situation differently on a comedy show. But one thing is undeniable. That night reminded audiences that real emotions don't disappear just because the cameras are rolling. And sometimes, they explode live on television. Final line perfect for ending. One interview. One clash. And a moment that late-night TV fans won't forget anytime soon. If you like unfiltered celebrity moments and real clashes behind the scenes, you already know what to do.